Hello there, this is Jennifer, and I'm really excited about today's video because it is about STAMPtember. STAMPtember is a month-long celebration of stamping that is hosted by the wonderful people at Simon Says Stamp. Now, this has been going on for over 15 years, where they give us a month full of new products, fun giveaways, special surprises, and best of all, lots of inspiration. To celebrate, I thought I'd personally give away two $100 gift cards to Simon Says Stamp. If you want a chance at those gift cards, look at the YouTube description below. The information on how you could win is there. And before I get started, a big thank you to Heidi and her wonderful team at Simon Says Stamp for putting this month together. I feel like we all could use a little fun right now, and STAMPtember is perfect for that. Now, I always get a lot of questions about how STAMPtember works, so I've put together a page that will constantly be updated every single day with what is happening. If you go over to my blog, you'll see right there towards the top left, it says STAMPtember 2025. Just click that every day, refresh that, and you will see everything you need to see, and it'll take you over to Simon Says Stamp. Now, I also have a link for that in the YouTube description below, so you can also click it there. So the Simon Says Stamp STAMPtember starts off today with the newest Simon Says Stamp release. So these are all products designed by Simon Says Stamp. When these sell out, they will be restocked. These will be regular products that they will have in their line, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. And I will be reviewing all of these products in today's video and giving you ideas. Then tomorrow, on September 2nd, I will have a new video using lots of the products from today, and I have lots of cards for you. I'm going to show you some techniques with pretty much every category of product types, like stamps, stencils, and more. It'll be a really fun card showcase. Then my favorite part of STAMPtember starts on September 4th and runs through the rest of the month. On most every day, there will be what is called a collab released at noon Eastern Time. A collab set is one that Simon Says Stamp designs with one of our favorite stamp companies, such as Concord and Ninth, Gina K, Lawn Fawn, and more. Now, these are limited stock and they usually sell out very quickly. So if you're interested in these, you want to check close to noon Eastern Time. Always just go to that link on my blog and you'll be able to find them. I really love the excitement of being surprised during the month with these collabs. I think it's so much fun. And remember, Simon Says Stamp is really generous and will have lots of inspiration, prizes, and specials throughout the month. You can always check that STAMPtember page on my blog or go to the Simon Says Stamp blog. All right, so now that I've covered all of this, let's review this new Simon Says Stamp release that just came out to celebrate STAMPtember. Keep in mind, everything in this video will be restocked. I've kind of broken the products down into categories, and I'm starting out with 3D embossing folders because I really like the ones they've added to their collection. These are very thick embossing folders, but I've found that I'm able to use them with all the different die cut machines I've tried. By the way, I'll put the name of the products on the top of the screen, and I'll put a star next to the name if it's one that I really like and plan to use. I am crazy about the boho flowers embossing folder. There's a lot of detail to this. I used gold metallic cardstock so you could really see all the different layers of depth that you get to this. And this can be done with any cardstock also. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, there are also boho flower dies that you can get that coordinate with it. So what you do is you die cut the flowers and then you put them in the embossing folder, lining it up with the same shaped flower. It's easy to do. I just put a little tape runner on the back, lay it into the embossing folder and close it, and you'll see the die cuts line up with the flowers in the folder. You run it through your die cut machine, and then you get these embossed die cuts with lots of detail. So you can use them separately or you can pop them up on the background. So this is a beautiful one, and I bet you'll see a lot of examples with it. Next, we have the stitched flowers. So you can see the detail of this. You have raised flowers and a dot pattern on them. This is one of the nice things about 3D folders over traditional is you get that additional detail. So you have raised flowers with raised dots. Lots of depth to this. Next up is the Magnificent Mums. Now this is a 3D embossing fold and a die that come together. So you can do the background and get what you see there, or you can die cut first, line it up as I just showed you, and get an embossed die cut. There's a lot of detail to these mums, and I think it'd be fun for inking techniques, which I will be showing you in my video that comes up on the 2nd. This brings us to Mod Forest, which is one of my favorites from this collection. I really like the style of this, and in my video tomorrow, I'll be showing you how I created this card. I used all metallic cardstocks for it, and I have some tricks for you. It just creates such a dynamic look in real life. I wish you could see it in real life because of the detail from the folder. Next, we have the dotted spiral embossing folder. Look how cool this background is. That cool spiral effect you get with those fine little dots in the middle that get bigger towards the edge. It's amazing, especially in this metallic cardstock. I will be using this in my video tomorrow, and you'll get a peek at the card where this is in the background in just a few minutes. Now there is another 3D embossing folder I'll show you later when we get to the birthday section. Now there are a few new ink colors from Simon Says Stamp, and they're positively saturated ink line. I really like these inks, especially on stencils, because these inks blend beautifully. So again, this is positively saturated ink. They have lots of beautiful colors, and there's always a light, medium, and dark in a little color family. You can buy them individually or together. So this release, they have Ballerina, Fairy, and Plum. Those are the colors you see there. The ones I love are the Periwinkle, Clematis, and Crocus. These are stunning. These are like a blue with a bit of purple to it. I mean, it's like the perfect periwinkle, and look how beautiful those are. Now, the ones on the left are like more of a mauve color. The ones on the right are that beautiful periwinkle. You will see these colors in action in my video tomorrow. All right, let's move into general dies. Now, I'll go through themes later, but these are just miscellaneous or everyday use dies. The first one is one that I have starred. It is the circle quilt. This is really cool because there is the one big die, and then there are two smaller dies that give you different options for layering on the one big die. So here's one. This one was very simple to do. I just did 2 shades of like a pink cardstock, and you can change it up and maybe do rainbow or add even more layers if you wanted to. Then using the other die, the other small die with the big one, look at this quilted look that I got using 3 shades of pink. So you can really do a lot of different patterns with these, and you could even do the big die twice and offset it on a card so you can create even more layers. I know Simon Says Stamp has several different dies with different shapes that are like this, but this circle one I think is fantastic, and I love how it's sized perfectly to go on the front of a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. By the way, the big circle die creates little score lines in the pattern that help you to line up the little pieces on it, so it's really effortless. I will have cards with this tomorrow, and by the way, this is a great way to use up scraps. Next, we have the lacy point frames. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it would look nice, but it wasn't until I die cut with it that I fell in love with it. This is the leftover piece, by the way, here. You can make an outside frame with it, but let me show you the inside. Look at the detail of this. And you can see, I think there are 5 dies in this collection. And look at all of that little piercing detail on the edges. You can make a very simple card be a little bit extra special by using these instead of just cut cardstock. Another fun one is the A2 postage rectangle dies. I believe there are 9 in this set, and this is all the sizes that work well on an A2 card, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. All you need to do is cut a rectangle to fit on the inside, and you have what looks like a giant postage. You'll see these in action very soon also. Then we have the sentiment labels too. There was one a while back, and this new version has strips that are 5.5 inches long, and you can see there are different widths included. Then there are these 4 separate dies that allow you to change the end of these banners. So there are 2 that give you like a curved end and 2 that give you kind of a flagged end or a V cut at the end. Fantastic for different sentiments that you have in your stash or just to create banners or stripes going across your card. There you can see the 2 different end options that you can use on each of those strip dies. Another useful die set is the A7 frames. A while ago, they came out with the A2, which work on 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch cards. These A7 frames are meant for 5 by 7 cards. However, you can also use these creatively on any other size card, which I'll show you in tomorrow's video. But these are proportioned just right for 5 by 7. There are 9 different size frames, and then of course you get the rectangle cut from the center. As for sentiment or word dies, the first is You Are Magic. This cuts the words and the shadow. This would work really well with that dotty spiral 3D embossing folder that looks almost magical. Just put this right at the center. This beautiful script with sympathy sentiment is just elegant. Look how detailed and elegant this is. I know a lot of us struggle with making sympathy cards. I think this is a really classic look that you can combine with some soft stenciling or with a simple floral die cut. Another really unique one is the Showboat Love You. So you can see the words love and you are connected, and there's a shadow die. I like that these words are stacked so you can easily add it to the center of a card. Then we have the charming flower stem. I love this one. It allows you to create really easy, simple, layered flowers. Look how beautiful those are with the detail. Happens to look really nice here at the center of this postage die cut that I'd created before. You'll be seeing me use this one. Of course, you can do it in different colors of cardstock. I just cut from white to show you how elegant it can be. Then we have a cute cardinal. I did this quick out of one shade of red cardstock, but you could also ink it or do multiple shades of red. Absolutely adorable. This one would work well in your holiday cards or in remembrance cards. Here we have Mail Call, which is a cute little mailbox and a tiny little envelope. I think it'd be fun to put a tiny little heart at the center of that tiny little envelope and maybe have a row of those or kind of a grid of those on the background of a card. Now, pretty bows too can be used with a lot of other products. You could cut just a square or rectangle piece of cardstock, put a bow on the top of it, and you have a present. You could die cut a circle, put a bow on the top of it, and you have an ornament. You could use these bows on a wreath that you create on your card. In fact, I'll create a wreath later in this video. Lots of detail to these, and I like that there are 5 different options included. Then we have Poppin' Corn. Poppin' Corn was part of a kit that came out, I believe, last month. You can see all the layering dies that you can create for this bucket of popcorn. But I also think you can use those 2 larger dies to create a planter. So you could put little flowers in the top of it and put a sentiment right there at the center of the planter. Look at these flower stems work great with it. It looks like a planter. So I think I'm going to have to do that on a card too. There's also the Ferris wheel. I believe this was in the kit. You could put a brad through these 2 pieces so that you can have the Ferris wheel spin. I think that would be a fun interactive card to create, or you can have this pop up on an easel card. And then we have the rubber ducky. Now, I think it'd be cute to cut this out of felt, so it's a fuzzy ducky, and it would make a great baby card. Very simple, just add the little ducky and a sweet sentiment, and you're good to go. All right, now let's move on to the general stamps, just miscellaneous stamps that are included in this release. Again, the theme stuff comes later in this video. And one of my favorites is the new Easy Strips You Got This. Now, the Easy Strips You Got This is one big stamp with lots of sentiments on it. You go ahead and stamp that onto a piece of cardstock, and then there is a die that will cut all of those sentiments out perfectly all at once. So you get lots of sentiments quickly. There are actually 2 different Easy Strip dies that line up with this. The one on the left with the little flagged ends is the newest version. The one on the right, just laying on my desk, it has been out for a while. You can use either of them to cut out these sentiments. So one will cut out sentiment strips with flag ends, and the other just does the block ends. I appreciate the 2 die options, and there are several stamps, Easy Strips stamps, that line up with those dies. I really am thankful that they give that versatility so we can use our products more. There are also pre-printed sentiments that work with these dies that I'll show you later in this video. Another stamp set that I'm excited to use is the new Big Scripty Greetings. So this is a stamp set and a coordinating die set. And what I really like about it is the coordinating dies cut pretty close to the sentiment, even cuts out the little center pieces. Here you can see sending hugs and how nice that looks. That's easy to add anywhere on a card. Here we have Your Joy, which is a smaller stamp set. It has 2 greetings. The first says, "You bring so much joy into my life. Every moment with you feels lighter, brighter, and happier." The second sentiment says, "Your smile brightens my day. It's like sunshine breaking through the clouds, effortless, warm, and contagious." Here we have the beautiful Sunflower Dreams background stamp. Yes, you could stamp this and do some wonderful coloring. However, what I will be doing is white heat embossing this on watercolor paper and then doing an inky distress ink technique with water and letting it dry, and it'll be beautiful. So this is a great background for a lot of different cards. And you could just do tone on tone if you prefer. Another that is fun is the curvy background. This one I think is great for that tone on tone, or you could just do like clear heat embossing of this on a colored cardstock for a little bit of texture and interest in a background. Next we have the Baked with Love. Look at the sweet images in here. I really like the style of these, and you'll see more later in this video. Look at this girl carrying the cake. I love it, along with the sweet sentiments. And of course, there is a coordinating die set available that cuts out all of those images, including the sentiments. I just think these girls are so sweet. I mean, come on, look at this one up here on the top left with the mixing bowl. Absolutely adorable. Now for something completely different, we have the Highland cows. So there are a few different Highland cow images and then some fun little sentiments such as, I heard it's your birthday. So you can do some punny cards with this. And there's a lot of detail in this stamp, so you don't have to take the time to do much coloring, and there are coordinating dies available. There is one holiday stamp set in this release, and it is fantastic. This is Shiny Baubles. On the back there, you can see some of the different ornaments that you can put together. You can just pick and choose all of these little images and layer them together however you want. There are also coordinating dies that allow you to do die cut layering with this set. That stamp set is 6x8 and also includes fun sentiments. You will be seeing this one in action very soon. Next, we have a small stamp set called Be Patient. There is actually also a die of the same name. The die includes the word Be Patient and the shadow, but that shadow die also lines up with the Be Patient stamp, so you have the options. I really like the sentiments that go along with it, like good things take time, everything will be okay, God is working out his plan. A lot of encouragement that many of us could use right now. And I showed you this card earlier, but you can see the Be Patient stamp set and die set in action here. Now let's move on to birthday theme products. There are quite a few birthday products in this release, and I'm glad because I really need to be making more birthday cards. First, we have Birthday Blitz. It's a 6x8 stamp set. These images can be used for birthday, but they can also be used for other occasions. Just change out the sentiments. And of course, there is a coordinating die. I love that sun and how you could easily create a sun with simple stamping and put a sweet sentiment on it. You could also use that wave along the bottom to create a unique background on any card. Speaking of unique, look at the Squirrely Birthday 6x8 stamp set and coordinating die set. Look how realistic this stamp layering set is. It creates a squirrel, the little acorn, a party hat for the squirrel, and a present. Now you could use a present on its own, but I think that squirrel image is fun, and there are of course punny sentiments included in the set. I really am impressed with these type of layering stamps because the images are as realistic as can be. Now, one of my favorite stamp sets in this release is the Inside Birthday Greeting Set by CZ Design and Simon Says Stamp. These are great sentiments. Now, these can go, of course, inside of a card, but you can also put them on the front of a card. There are coordinating dies available for them. Lots of different things here, like the Sending Birthday Wishes Your Way. That's great on the front of the card. You can do Happy Birthday from us or from me. No one wears another year quite as well as you. Celebrating your birth should be one big party, so let's get it started. I like big birthdays and I cannot lie. I mean, you've got all different kinds of playful birthday sentiments included in here, which really makes it a fun way to add interest on the inside of your birthday cards. Then we have the 6x8 Wild Birthday stamp set. This one would be fun for coloring, and I also think it'd be fun for interactive cards. For example, you could die cut that monkey out and have them swinging on a card using a pendulum technique. You could have this little bird kind of suspended across a window or on the edge of an easel card. Of course, there are coordinating dies for the images, including the sentiments. Then we have a smaller stamp set and a coordinating die set available. This is the Sunflower Dance. It has a sweet sunflower image, a basic birthday sentiment, but what I'm really liking in here are the 3 different size butterflies that I could team up with other stamp sets I have when I create a scene. Then I'm always a fan of background stamps, especially when there's words on them. Here we have the Scripty Birthday Background Stamp. This is great for tone on tone, and then you can add any birthday images on top. Or if you wanted to, you could just stamp this and then cut out different sentiments to add to your cards. Let's look at some birthday dies. Here you have block presents. I guess this could be used for Christmas too if you wanted to. This one would be fun to do an inlay technique or just to create a simple card by cutting this from colored cardstock, adding it onto a card base and stamping a sentiment underneath. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut the bow off of this so you could have that fun thin bow. Here I'm cutting part of the bow out, so I have this kind of loopy string, which would be easy to add onto a party balloon. So you can reverse it and put it either way. I'm always looking at ways to give my die cuts haircuts to get something different. So from this present die, we got the string for this balloon. And by the way, this is the party balloon. It's an inexpensive small die. It has that little highlight that you can add to it, and you could create a rainbow of balloons easily. From Simon Says Stamp and CZ Design, we have the little happy birthday banners. This includes a solid banner die and then 3 word banners that you can die cut and put on top of the solid one. And you have the happy birthday to you. And if you wanted to, you could use the little letters that fall out from the banner and add those to your cards instead. We also have the handwritten happy birthday die set. So this includes the words happy birthday and the shadow die. I'm really liking these thin words like this. I think they just add such fine detail onto your card, and they would be beautiful cut from metallic cardstock. I mentioned earlier there was one more 3D embossing folder. It is the birthday sentiments. Look at the detail in these birthday words. Oh, I love that detail. You could cut some of these out and add them to your card, or just leave it as a basic background to add some interest and texture, but it'd also be great for fun inking techniques. All right, now we have some fall themed products. I'm going to start with Halloween, but be sure to stick around with like the basic fall stuff because it's really good. So this is my boo. This is my favorite of the Halloween stamp sets. Look how cute these little ghosts are. I mean, come on. And hey, I can even color a ghost. Those are easy to color. But these also would be fun stamped on vellum, so you have little see-through ghosts. There are also playful sentiments to go with this, but you can also match it up with some of the other products I'm about to show you. And of course, there are coordinating dies. Now this next stamp set works great for Halloween, but can of course be used all year round. In fact, there's Have an Enchanting Birthday and You Are Pure Magic. Now this one would also work really well with the You Are Magic die set that I showed you earlier. I mean, come on, these are the cutest little images, would be really easy to color, and I love the stack of books. We have several different Halloween dies. The first is my favorite. It is the Twisty Haunted House. There's the haunted house, a shadow die for it, then clouds, detail dies, and a moon. This one would be great to create an easel card where the haunted house pops up. And I'll show you later another die set that would work really well with it. All right, next we have the Costume Ghost Parade. These cute little layering ghosts you can dress up in different ways. There's even a tiny little pumpkin he's carrying. Then, if you wanted to, you could leave the ghost plain and team it up with some of the other products. Now, what I think it would work well with is this one. This is the Trick or Treat 2 die. This is from Simon Says Stamp and CZ Design. I think it'd be fun to put this along the bottom of a card and then have a parade of those little ghosts going right around the words. I will show you a completed card with that trick or treat in just a moment. Here we have the Haunted Pumpkins. So these have really cute flying ghosts, and you can put hats on them if you want to. Those little flying ghosts would work really well with the haunted house that I showed you earlier. And this also includes a little layered pumpkin. So you can see how those little ghosts would be great in the sky of this haunted house. Then we have Little Boo, which is just that. It is a little boo die. So you have the word and the shadow die. Now, what I was most excited about of the Halloween products is the Spooky Eyes layering stencil set. There are 2 stencils here, and you can create an image like the one you see there on the packaging. However, in the video I put up tomorrow, I'm going to show you a technique that allows you to get this look, where the background is black and those eyes are fun colors. By the way, on this card, I also used that Trick or Treat 2 die, the Dottie Swirl embossing folder on the background, and then that frame was created with the A7 frame dies that I showed you earlier. Another that I think will be really popular is the Halloween Basics from CZ Design. I love that image. It's a curve of bats. It'd be great for a really bold card. And I like the sentiment that could go with it that says, I'm so baddie for you, stay spooky, or other sentiments that would work with any of these Halloween products. Of course, there is a coordinating die available. Then we have the super cute Pumpkin Pals stamp set. This is 4x6 with these cute little images. But my favorite part, the coordinating dies will cut out even those sentiments, which you could use with these images or others. Now let's move more into fall. We have pumpkin blessings. So this is nice. There is a 6x8 stamp set. There's also a coordinating stencil set and a coordinating die set. You could use the stencils alone, or you can use them to color in the stamped image from the set. I like the versatility of that. And there are different sentiments that you can stamp in that banner. So you can create different greetings, including Thanksgiving, birthday, and more. The next stamp set is a 4x6 set that's called Apple of My Eye. There are coordinating dies available. This has, of course, an apple theme to it. These would be great also for teacher cards. You can do a bushel of thanks and use that cute little image on the left. You can also create a little scene with that image along the bottom. One more sweet and cute stamp set. This is the Nuts About You. It has fun little images and playful, punny sentiments. What I like about this stamp set and the last one is that scene image on the bottom. So you don't just have the little animals, but you have a scene that you can put them with, and I love that that's included. And now for my favorite part of this release, the fall dies. First, we have the fall wreath. This has 2 dies in there. You cut the 2, put them together, and you have a wreath. Look how easy that is. You could layer it up, you could double it up, you could do whatever you wanted. You can even orient the 2 die cuts in different ways, like this that you see here. You could have them going along the top and the bottom of a card. Really fun to do, and all you have to do is some fun ink blending on it, and you could have a beautiful fall wreath. And remember the bow dies from earlier. Those would work great on here too. I appreciate the dies put the little details in the leaves, and that they came out with the autumn leaves die set. That cut all of these individual leaves that you see here that you can team up with any of your flower stamps, right? Or you can take these individual leaves and layer them onto the fall wreath. So these line up with those leaves on the fall wreath. So if you really want to add dimension to the wreath or make it look more full. But remember, these tiny little leaves and the bigger leaves can be used with other flower dies or other leaf dies that you have in your collection. I even think those smaller leaves would be fun to put in a shaker window, have the little leaves shaking around instead of sequins or gems. The die set that won me over completely from this release is the Acorn Bundle. I just really love the sweetness of this, and I love the coloring on the packaging too. It creates 2 little acorns, a little branch, and then 2 leaves. You can create this as a bundle, or you could do a background with it, or team it up with the wreath that we created a moment ago. If you're looking for a medium-sized leaf that you can add at the focal point of your card, we have the autumn leaf branch. You could even add little flower die cuts to this to make it work for the spring, or little red berries to make it work for the winter. And for a unique die set, you have the Lively Leaf Corner die. So it creates this little corner with leaves. You could put one in each corner and have a really lovely fall card. But then it also cuts the tiny leaves that you can layer on top to get a look like you see on the packaging. Or again, use those individual leaves with other products. And those little leaves would also be great for a shaker card. Now, I think you could really do a lot of creative things with this new Twisted Tree Arch. Now, you have that tree arch, and the die set also creates all those tiny little leaves, also would be good for a shaker window. Now, you could use this tree arch like this and put the haunted house inside of it, or some of the ghosts around it, or use that bat stamp from CZ Design. Or if you wanted to, you could give it more of a fall look by adding the little leaves. Or you could give it a spring look by adding little flower die cuts. I even think you could cut 2 of these, cut the curve off both, put those curves together, and create like a branchy looking wreath. Really would be fun to do and a great way to stretch a supply. There are a few pre-printed sentiment packs available in this release. I really like these pre-printed sentiments from Simon Says Stamp. I've used them many times in videos, and they have lots available. In this release, you have an autumn, Halloween, and birthday theme pack, and it's available in white with black printing or black with white letters. And the best part about these is they line up with those easy strip dies that I showed you earlier. So you can just die cut this and you'll have great sentiments. You can also foil these using foils like Gina K foils, and you can get beautiful shiny sentiments. There are, I believe, 4 sheets in each pack. And again, there are many pre-printed sentiments available at Simon Says Stamp. These are the newest. All right, there you have it. A look at the newest release from Simon Says Stamp to celebrate the start of STAMPtember. Again, I'll be using a lot of these products in my video coming out tomorrow. And then starting on the 4th will be the collab sets every day at noon, or most days at noon. But check out that page on my blog to keep up with it all because there's a lot of excitement going on. A big shout out again to Simon Says Stamp for giving us this celebration, just celebrating what we all love to do so much and our great escape from the world around us. I thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon and have a great day.